What's going on, family? DS1 Ross back. Told y'all I was gonna come back on the late night, y'all. You know, shout out to the royal regime. We here and thought we could have a real nice topic tonight to talk about. You know, over the past few weeks in the news, people been speaking about our missing girls and what's going on with our missing girls. We need to bring our girls back. All of these things that we've been hearing. And what we got to do, family, is we have to really dig a little deep when it comes to these types of issues, because these are things that's going on abroad, and it's not nothing new. It's not a conspiracy. It's real. And as y'all can see in the title, y'all, tonight's topic for tonight's late night show is human and sex trafficking, organ harvesting, and the dark web. you know Human and sex trafficking, organ harvesting. And I definitely wanted to talk about this because, my wife, she's a techie. She's into technology. She knows a lot about computers. She knows a lot about encoders and things of that nature. I ain't gonna say too much, but she's a techie. And I learned a lot from her. And one thing that she had firsthand knowledge dealing with, and what she put me on to, was to the dark web. And see, the dark web is the internet that a lot of our internet browsers cannot reach. This is why a lot of us don't know about the dark web. The dark web is real, family. Very, very much real. So tonight, this is what I want to talk about. So first, I want to get into human trafficking. And human trafficking, based on some statistics, they say that human trafficking is the biggest business in the world. Human and sex trafficking, one of the biggest businesses in the world. And it's one of the biggest businesses because, excuse me, what they're doing is they're trafficking people across state, city, and countries for slaves, you know, to make you a domestic slave, to make you a sex slave, or if they just want to torture you, they'll just do that. In the movie Taken, I think it was Taken Part 2, when, Liam Neeson, his daughter, she went to France, and she went to France with her friend, just going to be tourists, and her friend ended up getting abducted. and they were abducted and turned into sex slaves. They were sent to a sex farm, you know? So that shows you that sex trafficking is real. Human trafficking is real. You know, see, a lot of people say, oh, movies are not real. Movies are not real. But art imitates life. Remember that, y'all. Art imitates life. So in a lot of the movies, they're subliminally telling us what's going on in the world. But if you just looking at it as just a movie, just entertainment, you'll never understand that they're really talking to us. They're talking to us, family. And a lot of our young girls who are being abducted, they are being used as sex slaves. And they're taken to these sex farms, to these breeding farms. And a lot of them are taken to brothels in other countries. They're taken to sex auctions and sold. So I got a little information on, you know, women being missing. See, this is not nothing new, family. It's nothing new. You know, we think that this stuff just started happening. But see, this stuff been happening for years, y'all. It's been going on for years. You know, this is not no new phenomenon. So I'm gonna get into this article that I pulled up. And this is an article. Let me get the date for y'all. You know, so if y'all want to go and look this up yourselves, y'all can. This article is from 2012, January 18th, 2012. It says the faces, pardon me, and it's from dailymail.com. Dailymail.com. The faces of the forgotten, heartbreaking plight of the 64,000 black women missing across America as the country turns a blind eye. So this is from 2012, y'all. From 2012, they've been having this number of 64,000. We need to stop saying that it's 64,000 girls missing, because now we know, based on the facts, that there's way more. Way more. It's way more than 64,000. It was 64,000 back in 2012. It says a renewed campaign to highlight hundreds of missing African American women has been launched amid ongoing criticism that less attention is given to their cases by authorities and the media. According to the National Crime Information Center, nearly 40% of those who have disappeared, often in suspicious circumstances, are Black. However, critics allege that public attention mainly focuses on white women who have vanished. According to the Black and Missing Foundation, most women disappear in the states of New York, Georgia, North Carolina, Maryland, and Florida. This is 2012, y'all. This is a report from 2012. This is some interesting stuff, y'all. And up here they have a picture of a woman by the name of Phoenix Colden. She was 23. She disappeared on December 18th, you know, with another one of her friends. Her name is Stacy English. They was last seen on Christmas Day. And this is a report from 2012, y'all. Now it says a total of 273,985 minorities in the United States out of 692,944 for all races as of December 2010. So we had over a quarter million of damn near over a quarter million of our people missing since 2010. And you have people saying 64,000 in 2017. See, this is why we have to stop listening to the sound bites, family, and just do a little research for ourselves. We have to stop saying that number, because 273,985 of us was missing since December of 2010. You see? It says the nonprofit organization was formed in 2008 to draw attention to cases and keep pressure on authorities when leads and information dry up. The Black and Missing Foundation told Mail Online there are a number of reasons to why the cases of missing Black women are largely forgotten. Firstly, the organization points out that there is often a lack of diversity in newsrooms, meaning the African American community is not properly reflected in coverage. So in other words, what they saying, family, is that they're not representing us in the media because there's not a lot of us in media. There's not a lot of us to report on these stories. So this is why the stories get swept under the rug. Here it is. You got two women right here. One 19. She been missing since 1998. Another woman here, 41 years old. She's been missing since 1983. This is not a game, family. This is not a game. It's not a game. So as we could see, we have been bamboozled by the media again, y'all. This is why you just got to do a little research sometimes, you know, just to find out what's really going on. Because as we can see, we've been lied to. And now we see that we've been lied to. Now we got to sit back and analyze why they put this out again. What is it for? You see? Because we're not important to these people. So we need to become important to ourselves. Because they're going to continue to do what they're doing because they know that we're in the mindset of to each his own. And us living with that mindset is going to continue to kill us. More and more Black people are going to get caught up in this human and sex trafficking and these organ harvesting. We're going to keep getting caught up in this, family. Because guess what? Why not just snatch them up off the streets? We already competing with each other. See, this is how they look at it. Oh, he won't be mad if he go missing. You see? And they even showed an example of this in the movie Get Out with human and sex trafficking. with the guy who was with the real old, Caucasian women, the skinny black guy. You could tell he was used as a sex slave. You understand? So we got to understand that this stuff is real. And how all of this ties into the dark web is because the dark web is where a lot of our people are being sold. A lot of these organs are being sold. You see? And like I stated before, you can't just get on the dark web. You have to have special browsers. You have to have certain encoders and things to tap into this type of things. You know, my wife, she's into that type of stuff. She's a technical person. So she put me on to this stuff. She let me know how deep and dark the dark web is. If y'all want an idea on what the dark web is, research a movie. It's called 13 Games of Death. Look up that movie, y'all. If y'all want to see what the dark web is like. That's an example of the things that go on there. Because a lot of our people are being sold, family. You know, they said Trayvon Martin didn't have his organs. They found a lot of other people with their organs missing. Where do you think they're being sold? They're being sold online. And it's not the online that we can see. It's a special place. It's called the dark web, family. Because this is where they can get away with doing what they're doing. You see? It's wide open. You know, they show a lot of different things in movies that we need to pay attention to. Like they show human trafficking in one of the rush hours. In one of the rush hour movies. When they was trafficking, you know, these Japanese people, putting them in the back of vans, tying them up. See, we have to pay attention to that, family. Because this stuff is big business. It's big business. You know? See, the Arabs, they participate in a lot of this. Because they buy these women. They buy these women. This is why you have a lot of our women going to these Arab countries and sleeping with these Arab men. Because they spend a lot of money. These Arab men buy children. They spend a lot of money on them. You're starting to see a lot of Caucasian celebrities with black children. They're adopting black children. I bet a lot of those black children are not even probably from the United States. Some of them are probably trafficked here. If you're rich enough, you could pay for whatever you want. That's what we got to understand. You see? They can pay for whatever they want. So if they want them a little 10-year-old boy, they can pay for that. And they can buy it off the dark web. They'll sell your organs. Organs are worth a lot of money. And they need our organs, these Caucasian people, so they can continue to live. That's why in the movie Get Out, if you noticed, they gave that dude somebody's eyes. You know, he wanted to take that black guy's eyes. That's what he was there for. That's why he was kidnapped. He was kidnapped because they found a match. He was a match for that guy who was willing to pay a certain amount of money. As y'all can see, they had an auction and they wanted to pay for certain body parts. And that blind man, he wanted to see again. So he was willing to pay for that man's eyes. You see? So we got to understand how deep this thing goes, man. It goes very, very deep. And it's very, very evil. You know? These people choose to make money off of dead people. You know, I was just listening to something earlier when they were saying that, you know, they're using these aborted fetuses and chopping them up and putting them in our food, putting them in baby food, you know, using these things to create candies and all types of things, man. It's just some wicked stuff. But see, we don't understand that. We don't understand that. We really don't. They even said, that, you know, they was even putting stuff like that in McDonald's food. Aborted baby fetuses and stuff like that. So when we dealing with these sex trafficking and this organ harvesting and all of these types of things, this is another way for them to basically get rid of us. To get rid of us, but also to continue to leech off of us too. Because why do they want to make money off our body parts? Why do they want to take our body parts and use them? Why do they need us to live? If we're everything that they say we are, we animals, we savages, you know, we're this, we're that, then why do they need us to survive? Why are they using us to survive? Why are they willing to pay top dollar for our melanin, for our kidneys, for our hearts? Why are they willing to do this? Because we're very important. And like my sister Truthfully Honest says, we're God's chosen people, according to the Bible. And see, they know this. So this is why they know how important we are. And this is why they continue to do what they do. Because see, what they really want to do is they really want to have us subdued to the point where we don't even have any more hope. You see? And this is why they putting out these fake reports about 64,000 people being missing when we already know it's way more than that. Some of us didn't know, but a lot of us did. It's way more than that. I just read an article from 2010. So imagine the numbers now. And these are people who's kidnapped. We're not talking about people that's in prison, people that was already murdered. These are people who are going missing. So we have to understand how serious this is. We really do, family. Because we talking about protecting each other, protecting the family, but we really have to find another way and another tactic on how we protecting each other, because they were saying that a lot of those girls, or those older women were being abducted because they was being contacted for job interviews. So as you can see how sinister these people are, they know that people is crying out for employment. So they're using that as a way to attack us. This is some crazy shit, man. Crazy, crazy shit, man. We got to stop, overlooking things like this, overlooking stories like this. And I'm going to put the link in the chat, you know. Hopefully somebody could come on and give us some stories, you know. Because just to tell y'all a story, that I know of, you know, one of my homegirls, who used to be on a track, you know, she used to say that, her pimp used to get other women by kidnapping them. Basically, he used to send his homeboys out who was pimps too, and they used to just go and just snatch girls up and throw them in a van, you know. And this was going on in New York, you know. People didn't even know this was going on. So we have to understand how real it really can get. That's why they shut Backpage down. That's what Backpages was all about. Sex trafficking. And see, what a lot of people wasn't talking about was a lot of women was being killed off of Backpages and being kidnapped off of Backpages. So we got to understand, man, that this is nothing to be played with. And yeah, they kidnapping people and taking their organs. Yeah, they doing it. David Rockefeller just died. He lived till he was 101. And they said he had like 3 or 4 hearts. He had a lot of different organ transplants. See, you only could get that when you have money. But how could you get that many hearts? And what people are giving up their hearts? Who's donating their heart? So that should ring an alarm in your head saying that this is organ harvesting. These are the body parts of people who went missing. It's obvious. I know, I know it's not 100,000 people willing to donate their heart when they die. That man had 3 or 4 different hearts. He had multiple livers. Where's he getting these organs from? They're not building them in a laboratory. They're coming from people. You see? And see, I used to when I first started hearing about human trafficking and stuff like that, because the first time I heard about human and sex trafficking and organ harvesting was I was watching Tariq Nasheed Hidden Colors Part 2. This is where he got into trafficking, human trafficking, sex trafficking, organ harvesting. He got into it on Hidden Colors Part 2. So if y'all want to go and check that out, y'all could go and check that out too. So y'all can have a lot more information on this topic because he really went into it much deeper. So I'm gonna put the link in the chat, family. If y'all want to chop it up or have any, opinions or facts on this topic, I would definitely love to hear it. I think that definitely needs to be talked about. It don't need to be overshadowed, family, because we got to understand that the internet is running the world. It's like 6 degrees of separation between the internet and real life nowadays. Some people live their whole life on the internet. They can't even operate in the real world anymore. Can you hear me now, sis? But yeah, I put the link in the chat. Y'all can hit the link. If y'all wanna chop it up on this topic. Shout out to everybody in the chat. I know this is a late show. Shout out to y'all, family, for showing up and showing love, man, and just coming you know, to hear this information. So I put the link out there. If anybody want to come on and build upon this, you know, it'll definitely be appreciated. And I'll be right back, family. Peace, little bro. What's up, man? You got anything you want to say about this?
Yeah, man. I had to take down my video because I didn't want to end up being on the hit list too.
Man, I feel you, man. I feel you. But we definitely this trafficking stuff is something we need to really learn about, man. Because they're abducting a lot of children too. And we really have to watch us dealing with stuff online all the time because they're getting a lot of us through these scams.
Wait, who?
These people who's kidnapping people, bro.
Dang.
You know, they said that a few of the women who went missing, they said that they were going to job interviews. And they went to the job interview and never came back home. You know? And this is very, very interesting. And I could see why some people think it's conspiratorial because a lot of companies, you can't apply in person anymore. They making you apply online. A lot of these companies, when you apply to them directly, they never answer you. But if you apply to them through monster.com, through indeed.com, through some type of job search engine, then they'll contact you. But then that's how people like these people can attack you. They can portray like they're a job person on monster.com. Tell you coming for the interview. Then you get kidnapped. So this is very, very, this topic is crazy, man, because we have to understand that this is another tactic of war that they're using. War. So we have to protect ourselves at all costs, man. And we really have to protect ourselves online. You know what I'm saying? We can't just be willy-nilly with ourselves online too. You know, a lot of people think that the internet is gonna protect us. We have to protect ourselves on here, man. You know?
Yeah, yeah, and I'm just saying, I'm like, why these Spurs want to shut down black men yet they never going at the white dudes that gonna beat them on the female too.
I mean, you know, bro, they gotta do that, man. They gotta do that. It's like easy pickings. That's like right now, like what we talking about, bro. It's easy to it's easy to attack black women now because black men are under an assault. So it's like, all right, we got the black men in prison, we got them disheveled, we got them focused on killing each other. Now we could just take the women. And they ain't gonna care about the women because, you know, the women done been
Huh?
programmed to a point where,
Hey,
you know, they
DS,
don't even care about us. What's up, bro? You know, so we really gotta take heed to us not being unified, y'all. We have to take heed to that. So I think that peace, y'all. Peace.
What's up, bro? I'm
What's
gonna
up,
mute
bro?
myself.
All right. Peace, sis. How you doing?
Hi, it's a Sabbath, but I had to come in. I mean, this is kind of holy, right? It ain't bad. It ain't nothing devilish. We helping our people. So,
What's up with the true?
I mean, how you doing?
Jalen?
Oh, hi. Hi, Jalen. Hi, everybody in chat. Let me see. I'm trying to see. Boss, that's your picture? Why everybody mute themselves? What happened? Human
I'm here,
sex
sis.
trafficking, organ harvesting, black market. Okay, catch me up. What's going on? Because I
Well,
know I got something to say.
well, I came up with this topic because, lately we've been talking about the missing women and stuff like that, and I wanted to, just approach the topic from a a socio-political standpoint because I believe that this stuff is big money. This is why, you know, it's perpetuated, and I think it's bigger than what they like to talk about. I think it's much bigger than
Okay.
that.
Well, I got okay. Well, then we are okay. So, for those who don't know, I'm an Israelite, tribe of Judah, and we were made stronger. Our organs are stronger. The melanin in our body, even our eyes are brown. Our eyes are melanated. And the Edomite, they're not made like us. They're made weaker. They get diseases faster. They get sicker faster. They age way worse than us. They don't have what we have. So when it comes to organ harvesting, yeah, we're on top of the list for that. They will kill us for our organs. They will harm us. They will do anything they can to get us. Look at that Rockefeller dude. How many transplants did he have before it was a wrap for him? He really did fight. That was a fight he put up. And a lot of us died just to keep him alive that long. Organ harvesting is very real. They're rolling us in mats and they're stealing our organs. You can go into the hospital and for a little surgery and somebody might need something and you're not going to make it off that table. That's why a lot of our people back in the day, they didn't go to doctors. They already knew what time it was. It took them a lot. When Martin Luther King did his thing and talked us into following them the way he did, that really messed us up because we were at a place of not trusting them at all back then. We were building things like Black Wall Street and things like that. We were doing us, and then we got talked into trusting them. But we already know what time it is when it comes down to the Edomite. They want our organs. They want us. They wish they was us.
And that just
Sorry,
goes
I just
in,
thought.
that just goes into what, what Francis Cress Wilson and them was saying about them being parasitic. They're parasites,
Hmm.
you know?
They are. They go to every country taking it over. It's kind of like alien movies you see where they say the aliens go from planet to planet destroying it. The Edomite goes from continent to continent destroying it from country to country. That's what they do. That they are a disease themselves. Their survival is not long and they know it. They will do anything to hang on. And they will hang on to us. Like have you ever heard stories in Africa about them eating us?
Yep.
We are a very special people. They tried to eat us to try to see if they can get some of our energy, our power of what we have. We don't even know how much power we have in us. We about to find out though, because they testing us. They pushing us to the limit. We hitting that corner. We about to start swinging.
That's true.
It's already begun, really.
That's true.
It's gonna go down, and then we got to get ready. First of all, it's a spiritual fight. It's a mental fight before it's even gonna get physical. The physical gonna be last, but right now it's spiritual and mental. They're attacking us mentally in every way they possibly can. The sun is heating up. They dying off. Their time is up. They don't want to let go though. They're doing anything they can to mentally destroy us even further. To be destroyed just as much as they are. They getting some organs for now. But the end game, the final goal is they're all gonna die. The Edomites are not getting in. You read the Bible, it tell you the Edomites, the Most High don't like the Edomites, and those are the descendants of Esau. They're not made as strong as us. They're very weak. That's why they always try to. If you see how white people do, they always try to keep it on a mental playing field. because they know they are no match for our men at all. You could put 100 white men and put 4 black dudes in there. All 4 black dudes getting out. All 100 will be dead of those white dudes. They will not make it out. That's why they on steroids. They pumping themselves up mentally. They weak, very weak. As long as ours, our organs really are stronger. It's a fact. It's science. It's a science. It's a medical fact that we're stronger. They used to dissect us and everything, trying to figure us out. Trying
That's
to
truth.
figure us out.
They up right now trying to figure us out.
We are an astonishment, yes, and sadly a byword.
Want to touch on this, bro?
I mean, that's definitely a wild issue right there. I remember when they came out with them Hostel movies, you know, and I remember I watched the first one and I was saying to myself, they really doing this shit to people.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And they kidnapping their own. They taking their own people's organs too. You know what I'm saying? You don't never really hear about no sisters going overseas and stuff like that. We always hearing the news about, it's rich white kids and stuff go overseas, come up missing and stuff like that. You know, I mean, it's wild. The type of shit that they go through. You hate people so bad, but yet you using these same people's credentials to try to live longer.
Hmm.
You
Them
know,
poor people in Haiti, they getting the worst of it. I mean, they're not getting the worst. We all getting the worst of it. But them people in Haiti, they dogging them out slavery style over there.
Yeah, and
They take.
that's some of that is at the behest of us though, sis, because for a long time, us here in America, we shitted on Haitians. And
And
and,
they in the 12 tribes. They're part of us.
right. And I know this firsthand because one of my little cousins is Haitian. And when he was young, his older brothers used to call him, poor and dirty, a refugee. His older brothers used to say that to him when he was a little boy, you know? So I understand
Hmm.
how hard Haitians really had it here in America. So I can't even imagine what America's over there doing because they're not protected on any level by anybody. They're just, they like on their own island by themselves. Even the people that's right next to them, that's some of their people over there, in Dominican Republic and stuff like that. They on the same island. But they look at the Haitians as separate people. They look at them as low class people. And this is why I think it's easier for us to be kidnapped. Because why the hell is young girls roaming the streets? Why is that? Why do we see that in 2017, knowing what's going on in the system?
I don't
This
think we
is why
really understand. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
you first.
That pause always gets me. When people pause, I think that that pause gets me. I don't think we understand the danger that we're in. We don't understand the dangers in our own backyard, and it's big. We really think we safe. Walking out your door, especially at night. Once that sun go down and we go down that street, anything can happen. Somebody can pull up in a van and catch us. They can get our kids. That's the main thing that bothers me. I don't understand how people's children are leaving the house without a parent. I'm not. I can't wrap my head around that.
Hmm.
We're in the land of, we're still in the land of the people that stole us, and we trusting our kid to go to the store by themselves.
That's what I said, sis. When when the tragedy happened to Trayvon Martin, not to take away from what George Zimmerman did, but just me being a father, and my oldest son is 11 years old. I won't even let him walk to the barber shop by himself. That's right down the block.
Thank you. I
So
won't either.
I don't understand how, you know, I could kind of understand because, his dad was with a woman who lived in a gated community. They had a couple dollars or whatever, him and his new family. So I guess he felt like, my son ain't in the hood. He not going to the corner store. So he'll be safe. And black people, we got to stop thinking that. We got to stop thinking, once we get money and can move out the hood, we have arrived. Because we moving into the serial killer's backyard. These gated communities is where the serial killers and the serial rapists and all these people dwell at. They dwell in the Hamptons. They dwell in these affluent neighborhoods. So we got to stop aspiring to live around these people. The Jeffrey Dahmers and all of these people. They live in these rich neighborhoods.
They're
And
your
that's how we
teachers.
get caught up.
They're your teachers. They're your police officers. Doing dirt. Like that when they off the books.
Mm.
Officer Sampson looking you dead in your eyes while you crying. Trying to explain the last time you seen your child, and he the one got him, Mark.
Wow.
Boss, I'm
What
gonna
up,
tell
bro?
you how stupid. If you move out the hood, they're gonna call you a coon and sell if you do.
Yeah, well, you know what? This is the thing. You know, see a lot of us black folks, to get off the subject real quick, a lot of us black folks done embrace the hood so much to where you got more motherfuckers trying to get in, than trying to get out. You know what I'm saying? And with that being said, people that talk like that is people who don't have no intentions on trying to make it out. Because there's nothing in the law book that says that you have to stay in the projects your whole life. Even though, even though we didn't have some, the candy lady that stayed in the hood. You know what I'm saying? The woman that had a little store inside her apartment, you go in there and buy stuff. We don't
Yeah,
have
that
that
was
type
fine.
anymore. We ain't got that no more. But
We do in Oklahoma.
oh, okay.
Yeah, Oklahoma's hood. We call it the hood stove.
Okay.
You go to the corner, and if you catch them around dinner, you can get a plate of food to go.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry, but go
Yeah,
ahead.
Jalen, you don't ever let nobody tell you a coon or nothing because you move out of
Jay,
the hood.
yeah, that's what somebody told Jalen because he moved out the hood that they said he was a coon.
Nah, he was just saying, in general.
See, all of our goals should be like anybody. I mean, I don't know the level of the neighborhood. Some people live in an okay neighborhood. Some people really do live in the ghetto. But it's like all of our goals should be to get our own community, and out of there, any kind of community, whatever labels they got it, suburban, hood. We should have our own communities again. Because in Oklahoma, Black Wall Street was here. It was in Tulsa, Oklahoma. And they did that here in our state. So black people climbing up here, they don't like that. They don't like for black people to come up in Oklahoma. You
Black
try to
people,
get your permits, huh?
Now I said black people don't want black people to come up here. You know, you do good in life, and then you got the same motherfucker that claim they love you. You know, they turn around and they want to see you down. They want you to be down with them.
That's what I
So
want
they'll
to
pull
know.
the hood shit. They'll
Jesus.
pull that hood tactic to
Yo,
try to
this
make you feel bad. You know,
man don't say.
prime example. Y'all remember the lottery ticket with Bow Wow? Y'all see how all the
Hmm.
motherfuckers was acting and shit because he won that ticket. And then his boy, y'all see how his boy pulled the manipulation tactic on top of on top of the rooftop. Even though Bow Wow was, he was wrong for, thinking his boy was trying to get him, but his boy gonna pull that old sucker shit. You know, we broke. I'm fucked up. I need to eat. And you can change that. What about you changing things for your own self? For instance, I'm from Warren, Ohio. Y'all heard of you know, y'all heard of Manningham?
Who's that?
Who you said, bro?
Oh, that was me.
Hello?
You heard of who?
Manningham. What did you say? I think something might be wrong with his mic.
Oh, we can't hear you, bro.
My bad, family. Hello?
Yeah, you good.
Hey,
Yeah, my
boss.
bad. Y'all heard of
Uh-huh.
Mario Manningham?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. He used to play for the Giants.
Yeah, he from here, where I'm from.
Oh, Warren, Ohio.
Yeah, I could take you. I could take you to his daddy's house right now, bro. Mr. Jeff Hughley, that's his father. Grew up with my mother and father.
Mm.
Okay then.
You know what I'm
So
saying?
who is
He,
this
he,
guy?
he used to play for the
Yeah,
Giants.
NFL players.
No, I mean, but
Yeah.
like, what made him so known? Is he known just for that, or did he do something bad?
Nah, he didn't do nothing bad. The point I was trying,
Oh, okay.
nah, the point I was trying to make was even though Mario Manningham, even though he made it, his father still worked.
Wow.
His father still worked. I remember my pops.
That's a good
I
thing.
remember my pops a couple years ago was cracking jokes with him. You know what I'm saying? They was sitting up cracking jokes, and he told my pops like, "Hey, I'm grateful for my son, but I gotta eat too."
Mm. And see,
So
just to tie that in, you know, black people are, as a group, I think we're we're disenfranchised, and that's why, the stuff that's going on is going on with us, you know? Cause my wife said something to me that it just made me think. I'm from New York. We both from New York. Now, when I was young, I used to see a lot of homeless people in the streets, a lot of bums. Now, when I go back to New York, it's a certain time at night where the streets are clear. You don't even see homeless people anymore. What happened to that? What happened to people sleeping on the trains? And where's all these people at? They just
I
disappeared.
know. Have y'all seen those things where they've been talking about they've been building those secret camps or whatever in the woods and stuff? and they've been doing it by railroad tracks and things like that.
Nope.
And
Tell us about
they
it,
ordered
sis.
like, well, this is what a lot of people was wanting to know what was happening to the homeless people in New York. It was like, where did all the homeless go? And it was also asking that about Philly as well. A lot of homeless people, a few million of them came up missing. They've been coming up missing for the last about 7, 8, no, I want to say 6, 7 years. And there's these camps that they're building in the woods and stuff, but it's always by those railroad tracks, like those concentration camps, railroad tracks. And they ordered like 5,000 guillotines, those things that slice your head off or whatever. And then they got all those plastic stackable basket things. Yeah, FEMA camps. Thank you, Chuck LeBlanc. FEMA camps. Thank you. Those FEMA camps are everywhere. And what they've been doing is they've been rallying up them homeless people and killing them. They said that's called depopulating the earth. They've been getting rid of people that we won't even notice is gone. Whenever we turn our back, they do something. They want our organs. They're killing people. They're depopulating. These people are truly evil. That's what's happening to them homeless people. Look it up. You'll see. That's what's happening to them homeless people. Because I used to see
That's
way more
interesting.
panhandlers. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
That's interesting, sis, because I just was wondering that. Like, where did
Hmm.
all these people go? Because when I was young, like, if you out in a certain place and it's 12, 1 o'clock, you see a lot. It's like they just start coming out. Everywhere you walk, you start seeing homeless people, drunk people, people that's high. You know what I'm saying? In New York, you could see that in abundance, especially in Manhattan
There's
at
still a
night.
lot of them there.
No, it's you barely see it now. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Walking the streets now, 12, 1 o'clock at night in the inner city, you don't see no more homeless people like that. You don't see panhandlers and people sleep on the trains. You don't see that no more. And I always wondered, where did these people go? What happened to them?
Because I thought it was weird. They've been a lot of people, because I listen to, I like to, I'm a little bit of, I like to learn things, and even I listen to the conspiracy people too, and they were saying that all the WalMarts that are closing down, they turn those into FEMA camps, because they closed a couple of WalMarts down in Oklahoma, and y'all heard about the WalMarts closing down in the country? They pick some in different states.
Yep.
Well, and they gutting them. They're closing them down and telling people we're going to fix the plumbing, but they gutting them all the way out, and they're building stuff underground under them. So those are supposed to also be FEMA camps as well, but they're kind of like hidden in plain sight. It's kind of like in those cities, in every city they got a building that looks like a building, but it's not a building. It's a real big oil rig inside of there instead.
Right.
Y'all seen those buildings before? Like in Chicago, got some that's not real buildings. Oklahoma City got some. You go downtown, all those buildings ain't real.
Mm.
And I thought that was crazy. I was like, all of them ain't real. There's at least one building that's not real downtown. They'll build a fake. They'll build something fake and put one of those oil things inside of them. Chuck LeBlanc said, "True." I see you, Chuck LeBlanc. I see you. I
Hey,
like you. Let me look at check their channel out.
give me. I'll just tell you, but look at Boss's avatar is, and look at my avatar now.
That's how the boss man come. You know.
I had found this avatar. I just put it on my profile pic right here.
But you know what I noticed though? Instead of them just calling these acts that they're committing, is acts of slavery and stuff like that and oppression, they put these little terms on them, like trafficking. Trafficking is the same thing that they was doing to us in slavery. kidnapping us and sending us to different places for other reasons. It's the same thing. It's just that now they putting these fancy names on them like this is something new. It's nothing new. And we got to understand that this is something that's serious. You know, they show us in movies all the time about these breeding farms, about these young women that's getting kidnapped and being sold to old men in other countries. That's why I said watch Taken 2. Watch the movie 13 Games of Death. They're talking about the dark web. That's the black market for all these organs that's being harvested. They doing it online. They selling people organs to you online. You know?
The
And
internet
this
is a
is why I
huge
brought
place.
this topic up.
Yeah, the internet is a huge place. The internet is so big, it's like space, like the galaxy. But they got us in this little bitty ball, and the only thing we go to is Facebook, YouTube, Hulu, Netflix. You know, we stay in the little ball. We're trained to stay in our little ball, our little box, because we're mentally trained to stay in it. But the internet is such a huge place,
It really
so
is.
big.
And
Hmm.
and like I was saying earlier, you know, none of us could really tap into the dark web because of our browsers. You got to have specific browsers and stuff to even tap into that stuff. So
You gotta be careful too. My nephew he's in college, and he has a program to where he has a program like it's another computer in his computer. So if they try to track him, they're gonna hit a wall. They're not gonna be able to get to him because he's on he goes into the dark web, and he did it for like a class project, and he was all up in the dark web and stuff, and he was like, well, I gotta protect myself because the hackers are in there, and they'll get you. And I was like, the hackers, and he started telling me about it, and I was like, no, I think I'll, I mean, I don't mind being in the box for the internet for now. I don't want to be in a box in the real world, but for the internet, I'm okay. But I don't know if we've been just taught to fear the dark web. Really, John Doe? John Doe, you gave a scripture on another on he gave a scripture on Queen Karasi's panel. I think it was Second Corinthians. You gave a scripture, and I was gonna read it, but I want you to know I didn't forget about you. It was Second Corinthians, and I did read it myself. I just didn't get a chance to read it out loud. Now, what did he say? You can go to jail if you get caught on a onion router. Is that a onion? That's onion, right? I'm reading that right. It says onion.
yeah, on an onion router. That's
Oh,
basically
okay.
one of those routers that's not really programmed, by regular providers and stuff like that. And you
Mhm.
can go to jail, and I see your nephew, he know, because them hackers will get your information. They could trace you. So this is why he had to put up that wall, so he could be protected. Because
Yeah.
once you get on there, all your information is exposed to the hackers. So they could track you. They could get your social security number. They know where you live at, all your bank records, everything.
Yeah, these millennials are so super smart. Cause that little one, oh, he is so smart,
Yeah,
but not on with the dark
yeah,
web. But you're right, that's where the organs are being sold at.
yeah.
That's Rockefeller land. Rockefeller land is the dark web. That's they
Children,
stuff.
a lot of babies are being sold on there. It's very, very graphic.
There's
And
a
all of our information that's on the regular web is on the dark web. So they have everyone's information. Everyone's. They know who everybody is. That's why it's a market. That's why I named it the black market too, because that's where people sell all of the information at. It's just that people really don't know about the dark web, so they don't know.
Yeah.
People credit card information gets sold on there. Everything. You can actually buy people, you know,
Yeah, there's still
buy
slavery
anything
in
you want,
Yemen.
drugs, anything.
Yeah, I know there's slavery in Yemen right now.
Yeah. Yeah, them Arabs,
I was I was
them
watching a
Arabs enslaved their
documentary and
women.
they was trying to free they freed this brother and his sister, and they had been in slavery their whole life, and they parent like the family, like, well, even if they had kids, their kids were still slaves to that family. So when their parents died, the slaves would just get passed on to the next, to the kids. It's like, dang. So you mean tell me your kids are gonna be owned by their kids, and they ain't even born yet? But I think they're trying to distort that slavery thing. They're still trying to get into they're trying to get in that covenant. John
Mm.
Doe, my bad. It's not illegal to be on tour, but if you get caught in certain sites, you can go to jail. Oh, okay. That's what John Doe said. Yeah, and I meant to say, yep, that's the one, but I see where I messed up at. Y'all, it's cool though. We family. I messed up on accident. But yeah, um, there's this one dude on YouTube. That's all he do is travel the dark web, and he's a YouTuber, and that's what he does. He goes in the dark web, and you can see what he finds. He finds like hit lists, people that you can hire a hitman, and you can get you. I mean, you can get anything there: drugs, pills, all that stuff is there. If you trust it, it's there. I mean, all drugs are bad. All drugs are bad. Don't do them. I'm just saying, like, huh?
You want to touch on that, boss?
I mean, like I said, it's wild the shit that, these crackers will go through to pull sneaky ass, bullshit. You know,
Yeah.
they'll go through anything. And it's ridiculous because they sit up here, they talk about black on black crime. They talk about what we do to each other, but behind the scenes, you know, they doing rhetoric.
But from now at this point, I stories on white crime, so I'll just upload every weekend.
Oh, you gonna start doing that? That's cool.
I already am
Jalen,
start doing that too.
You was in True Royals chat earlier, and you put in the comment section, somebody made a fake page of you. They
I
made they somebody.
I was on this person. I was on this person named Freeman's channel. Somebody cloned my channel and started trolling his page, and I told him that's not me.
Oh, that's messed up. Oh, that is so. I'm sorry you're going through that, Jalen. These people out here, them Edomites, they the devil.
No, he was one of
They
Tommy
are.
Sonny Moore fans clone my channel. I just reported for impersonating my channel.
That's mean. You
So
see, they keep trying to embody us. You see that? They keep trying to, like, they even want the man's YouTube channel. What the heck is wrong with them people? Like,
so let me
they'll
ask
take
you
anything they can get of us.
let me ask y'all this. Do y'all think that they use rap rap music to continue to perpetuate the violence between us so they could
Hey,
continue
bro,
to steal our organs and shit?
you know what? Um, to answer your question, go on my channel, bro. I got a video where I'm talking about the rap industry, and it's about this dude. He was from this white dude. He was from European. He was European. He came over here. Um, he was working in the industry, and there was a secret meeting, and he said how in the secret meeting how they made, men in there sign off waivers, and a couple of the guys, walked out of there. Well, they was this meeting was about these white people investing in their money into the private prison systems, and it got to do with, gangster rap, you know, to promote gangster rap to help, black people fill up these private prisons. You gonna have to go because I go to the video because I read the whole article too. But yeah, it talks about that.
I think the whole industry is black crackers, to be honest with you. And that's because if you're doing the white man's job for them, it's kind of like you don't have to bring drugs in our community no more. We go get them ourselves. You don't have to, like, you've heard me say that before, and I feel like that's what I mean. That's what they're doing. They keep taking, they take stuff from us and then they give it back to us all messed up. So like those rappers, they can't say what they want to say. That's all they can spit out is harmful things to our community. And we listen to it and be like, yeah, that sounds so good. And it's harmful to us, our children, all that to listen to that crap. And I thought that I've never liked rap music ever because I've always thought, I mean, it was cool like to dance to when you were like when you're kicking it with your friends, but like to buy it and actually buy it, nah. I think that's the part that's one of their traps for us is rap music,
Young
the
G,
music industry. Period.
Young
Huh?
Jeezy told us in our kids to trap or die, but sent his kids to a good, to a good school.
Exactly. And that's why I asked y'all this because think about this. You got the drill music, Chicago, and most of the Midwest. Drill music. That's what the young the young G's is listening to. That's what they riding to. That's life to. And they killing each other off this music. You
And
think by do you think by these record labels signing dudes like Chief Keef and these other dudes to keep promoting his music so we could keep killing each other in the neighborhoods. So when they come clean up the crime scene, they take bed or whatever and just empty their body out and take all their organs.
I mean, that's probably what they doing, that's probably the shit that they doing anyway. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
Mm-hmm.
you know, see, that drill music, that shit that made it all the way to London, right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And see, the rap label, they know what they doing because guess what? These rap labels, they paying these young niggas top dollar. These young niggas got better contracts than our favorite rapper had.
Mm.
yeah, and mumbling rap too.
These young dudes in the rap game got better deals than our favorite rappers had.
That's big. And that's probably because they know that they getting these people to promote, to promote that. Because it's like they saying all these people are coming up with their organs missing, and it's like the killing just won't stop. It's like a built-in fix almost to me. It's starting to seem unreal to me. It's starting to seem like this shit is contrived. It's not naturally happening. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah, and boss and Young Thug could be like, like
Okay.
ooh,
What did you say, Jalen?
Young Thug could and it's other mumbling rappers like Lil Yachty, and then they're like, I can't and including Chick Keef too. I can't understand what they saying too, Chick Keef and them.
Yeah, you
Mm-hmm.
you can't understand them because you're not on their mental level. They dumbed down. You know what I'm saying? They damn near retarded. That's why you can't understand them, bro. You on another level. You way more intelligent than them. You know they not speaking your language. That's what it is, and that's why I think they promoting these dudes because look at Lil Yachty. Look at all these endorsements he get. He got a Target commercial.
Oh, I got my soda. Oh, I got
Yeah.
my soda. That gay ass shit.
You want me to show
You
you
know.
something he got on? You know what he cracked me like?
That bullshit. I
I
remember
got
when
my
I first
soda.
seen. I remember when I first seen that commercial. You know, got my man. LeBron James in there. I'm like, what the fuck he doing in this video with this little retarded motherfucker?
Y'all,
You know what I'm saying?
John Doe said the truth is okay. John Doe, your comment, you should go. You should look at DS1's live chat from earlier. Fact versus opinion versus truth, because your comment fits that. He says truth is stranger than fiction. To explain some of these things to someone out of the loop, they'd think you were an imaginative lunatic, but this stuff really happens. Yeah, yeah. They would call us like conspiracy theorists, or they would call us all kind of things because to be free thinkers and to think the way we all do, and obviously y'all, because we're all here together. In order to think this way, you have to think outside the box. Like you have to really look at them. You have to think. We're not programmed. We're awake. We realize something is wrong in this world. We know something's wrong. But some people, they want to continue to go on with that flow, and they listening to that mumbling rap music, and it sound real good to them because something ain't right with them in their head. In today's world, I heard somebody say this recently: "Good is bad and bad is good." Who said that? Someone said that.
Oh, me,
Someone said good is bad. Who's me?
boss.
Boss. Okay, yeah, okay. So, and that's true. Good. If you're good, you're bad, and if you're bad, you're good. Everything is backwards. It's the way the devil wants it to be. It's his. This planet. Someone told me that because someone once said that this place has turned out better than the devil hoped.
Mm.
Damn.
Because everything we do from the time we wake up to the time we go to bed probably done broke about 200 commandments. Because you have to understand, we got about around 600 commandments. It's not just 10. So so if you break one, that means you breaking 10, 20 over here too, because they all kind of tie in together. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, you want me to
Like
show
if
you?
you sleep with,
Seriously. Oh,
huh? Go ahead.
I'm gonna let you talk when I'm gonna let you talk. Okay.
Oh, I'm good. Go ahead.
I want to show you something. What look like ideas. It's okay for me if I screen share. Screen share.
Yeah, you good, bro.
Okay. Uh-oh.
Talking about all he got his soda. Little faggot. With that bright ass uh you know, Cody had on and shit.
Hmm.
Look,
My son loved that little motherfucker too.
You know,
look at
these
his
little
hair.
you can't understand what these little dudes are saying because they on these fucking drugs.
Mm-hmm. They ain't sober. They all on that dang lean, whatever that Kool-Aid. And I'm 34. I'm not old. Peace, truthfully. Oh, I'm not old. You know what I'm saying? But I'm 34. But they mumbling, man. They are.
But what's interesting is that how these little kids of today are so interested in that. My son loved Lil Yachty.
Who's that? What,
The
what
dude
he? What?
you looking at, the dude that Jalen is screen sharing, his name is Lil
Mhm.
Yachty. And I always ask my son, what do you like? Why do you like this
Oh
little
my
sick
goodness.
motherfucker? And
He looked
he
like
just say he likes his music.
he looks like from the little square that I can see, it looked like little Kim kinda, but like the old like back in the day. Like way back in the day when she was like talking about money, respect.
Hey yo, John Doe, yeah, you right. Hey Mozzie, that's my dude right there.
Who's Mozzie?
Mozzie,
Is he speaking truth?
he from Cali.
Yeah,
He speak.
Mozzi. Yeah, yeah.
And look at the other worst rapper, little B right here.
You know Mozzie, Mozzie a young dude himself,
Hmm.
but totally different monster. You would think the way he act like he 35 or something, but he a young dude.
Right. And
And
that's what I'm saying. How, like I said, I asked my son, why do you like this dude? What do you like about him? Look how he look. He not saying shit. Why do you like designer? Like, how do these children become captivated by these types of people? I be wanting to understand that because that shit carries on into our children's culture because rap music or hip hop is our culture. It teaches us how to dress. It teaches us a lot. It teaches us how to socialize with one another. It teaches us a lot. So, I always try to analyze these artists and the effects that they have on our children. Because the way these rappers act, it affects our children behavior. Whether we like it or not, but it's just true because it affected ours.
Hmm. Miss Donna Nicole said they're under mind control. Yeah, MK Ultra, right? Ain't that what they call it? MK Ultra. Them put something right with them people.
yeah,
I think that a lot of people can be bought now. A lot of people can be bought, and that's a problem. And I didn't think that.
but
I
look,
didn't think the greed. Hmm.
and look what little B is wearing now.
Keep talking, because the longer you talk, the more it'll be on the main screen, Jalen.
The designer, with his simple looking ass, looking like, my bro, I'm in Shumpert.
Yeah.
Look just like I'm in.
And
Okay,
okay.
I'm sorry. Chuck LeBlanc said a lot of it has to do with stuff they smoking too. They putting GMO on it, and then John Doe said the materialize they materialize the item of success: women, luxury, vehicle, money, and respect. Teachers aren't seen as successful, l- living low wages.
Well,
I've
Yeah.
al- I,
that's a
I've
good point,
always
bro.
said for years that teachers should be the highest paid,
Hmm.
people. You know what I'm saying? Like how the fuck can a doctor, lawyer, judge, you know, all the surgeons, all these type of people, how they getting paid more than teachers when you had to be
Hmm.
taught? in order to be what you are today. Like I've never agreed with that. Teachers should be the highest paid.
Because the teacher's job is to also teach the Israelite children, and that's not, they don't want us learning nothing. I mean, you get paid if you work at a private school. You get all the benefits you want, the good money. Oklahoma is one of those, what, the top 3 states that pay to pay them the lowest in the country. They make 30,000 a year here in Oklahoma. That's nothing. They can go right over the state line in Texas and make 55,000 a year or more. So we lost a lot of our teachers this school year. We lost so many teachers. They was actually like people that went to college. They was like, come over here and be a teacher. What'd you go to college for? Electrician. Come over here. Teach this PE class. Teach this math class. They was giving out certificates to teach, temporary certificates to teach.
And that's crazy because, you know, a lot of black youth that have problems at home, a lot of them talk to their teachers, and a lot of them get relationships with their teachers. So just imagine, a child who never wanted to go home every day, but he used to always have that talk with his teacher that's no longer there. That's how you can leave a child out to be roaming the streets to get kidnapped. So I think it's all a ploy. People like to use the word conspiracy, but I think it's all a strategy, man.
They put the word conspiracy on there so they can also put the word crazy, the label crazy, insane, and all that on there too. As soon as you start making sense, you get labeled crazy and insane. Now, when you actually do sound crazy and insane, oh my goodness, you're the smartest person ever. Give me a hug. Yeah, please. True. Telling you. These
Hell,
people
half of
don't
these
like
parents to keep half of these parents, let's be honest, half of these fake ass parents gave their kids to the streets.
True. Oh my goodness. You
Mm.
man, I'm a ooh. That's a
Ooh.
deep one. That's a deep one right there.
Ooh.
You want to touch that?
Man, bro,
Really? Like
you
they
gotta you
doing it
gotta
though.
gotta go in on that, bro. You can't leave that stone unturned, bro. You gotta turn that shit over.
You
Yes.
know, too many of these parents, they out on drugs. Um, you know, the the mamas, you know, they ain't with the child's father no more, or they never was with him. They get another nigga around them, and they find themselves in their bedroom laid up with the nigga while the kid is out by itself in the living
Mm,
room.
mm. True.
You know, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous as hell. Half of
That's
these parents sitting up playing a role they gave their kids to the streets
Yeah. They don't want to
because
be
they
a
still
mom
ain't grew up.
anymore. They don't either
Right.
they don't want to be a mom anymore or they want their life back. They getting older. I'm just gone outside. And then at some point they just go ahead and kick them out into the streets, literally. Like you ain't never watched this kid. Now you mad about how this child done turned out. Now you want to throw him to the system. I don't understand this world. It's like mental illness has ran rapid. Do you remember when they took all the mentally ill people and threw them into the street? They closed down a lot of the mental asylums and things, and just let the crazies run wild. And
yeah,
those crazies got with people and had babies and just kept it going, just kept it spreading. Like what the oh, I'm gonna have to let that one go. I'm just gonna have to let it go because I don't want to be rude and
Nah,
I don't want to say nothing.
it ain't rude when you wrong, you wrong. And when you
Yeah.
rude and when you wrong, you don't deserve kind words. How about that?
I just yeah, a lot of women they going for that thought level. They looked up. I don't know, some new era that came in where they done gave the thoughts a name, the whole the name and called them thoughts. And they actually answering to it. They rocking with it. They answering to it.
I'm supposed to respect you and
And
show you all this respect,
no,
and
that's the girl you
and
keep walking past.
and,
You keep
and
walking
all
past
you
her.
and all you seem to can put on the table is some twerking videos and half-ass naked pictures. But oh, I'm just supposed to respect you. You just supposed to be respected, huh? You don't give a damn about your ass and titty pics and your twerking with Dairy Queen dilly bars in one hand and your camera in the other. Oh, you deserve respect.
Boss, I'm gonna tell you that right now. Hey, can I please mute yourself? Cause you don't want to hear this. I gotta tell boss something. Yeah, I'm gonna tell
I'm
you
listening,
what
bro.
happened. Okay, one of these girls talking about some. They were the let dudes run. They let dudes run up in them raw. Two dudes and one female is let dudes run up in them raw. And they talking about some. They want she wanted two dudes buzz nuts inside them, and that's it.
Well, like I said, man, a lot of these children been, thrown to the streets. The parents ain't paying no attention to them. It's a wrap.
That's big, man. That's big what you said, bro. Because we don't really we don't really stop and think about that. But a lot of, and I would have to say that happened to a lot of women with their mothers. A lot of black mothers, threw their daughters out in the streets. And
Yeah,
they had to go through a lot of shit. And then they wonder why there's a plethora of black women who strip, or black women who participate in prostitution. That happens when you young, you 13, 14 in the streets, and you gotta eat, or you gotta
True.
find somewhere to lay your head.
right.
Yep. I mean, desperate. What this world is a very cold place, and I think that this is why I really want to reach to the. I really try to reach the women, and before, because man, that 18, 19 era is sucky. Especially if you haven't been taught the right skills to go out there into the world. Same thing with the dudes. You on a pole. Some girls end up on a track. Some girls end up on drugs. Some girls just never come back. It's done. The same thing with the dude. They end up selling drugs, selling women, end up in a prison system, and they never get to come back.
And you see what you just said, Jalen? A lot of them type of women, they deal with that because of what Boss was just talking about. They take that approach with men because, a lot of them has been abused. A lot of them was forced to sell themselves. So they start, dealing with men from that level because they don't know no other way to deal with it. You know, and that goes all this ties into like what Jalen was just talking about. That ties into the back page shit. All of that shit was sex trafficking. That's why that's the Feds shut down Backpage. The Feds did, the government. The government shut down back pages, not no state police
Cause all them white girls was
right,
on
who
that stuff hard.
hard body. The government stopped that shit. The federal government came in and put a sanction on that. And you know why they had to come in and do it? Because it was a lot of police officers paying. A lot of
And
police officers
There was police officers on that thing too.
paying,
and
yeah,
listen,
and pimping.
in my city,
They was
well,
pimping too. Dang.
And in my city where I'm from, there was young females getting locked up, going to jail behind that, back page shit.
That shit real, bro.
Yeah.
That shit is for real.
There's this dude in Oklahoma. He puts. Oh my goodness, I know a lot about it because this is white dude. He be on the news all over the place in different areas. He has so many hidden cameras in Oklahoma City to where uh like I mean like known spots he knows where the prostitutes be going at. And he got them cameras on them, and next thing you know, here he come with that camera, and he's shining it on her while she's sucking away.
Wow. Wow.
He put them on blast. He said, "I'm getting rid of the hoes in Oklahoma."
Wow. You see that
And it's
shit?
a white dude. It's a white dude to do it, but I laugh every time I see him on the news. I'm like, there he go, and he put black. He put that. What's the? Y'all just said it. Back page. He put that on blast. I mean, like you don't have to know nothing about prostitutes, but I bet you that man gonna make sure you know everything because he wants them prostitutes out of. I think maybe his wife did something. Something happened to that man because he is really upset.
What happened to him? What happened to his ass, sis, was he was a John, and he fell in love with one of the hoes, and she told him she didn't love him. That's what happened to his punk ass.
I can't. Heck yeah. He was like, she probably ran off and he didn't get what he wanted or something.
Hey,
Yeah, he
Something happened
bro.
to him.
Hey, bro.
was good, bro.
He, he probably he probably was in the hotel room with his hoe, and the hoe probably told him, "Cracker, I could have had a V8."
Oh my goodness, y'all.
Uh-huh. That probably
But
hurt him.
something happened to him though, for real. Like something had a Miss Donna Nicole. Can you download I just wrote that. Can you download Google Hangout on your phone? Cause she said she'll come in next time. She said she always gets in on her phone and she trick no
Yeah.
good. LOL says Chuck LeBlanc. Chuck, okay. He be saying stuff. He said something earlier too. He said, what do y'all have anything to say about that statement Chuck made earlier about the weed having GMO on it? Where is it at?
Yeah. Yeah, I heard about that. I heard about that, but that's that. But see, that's medical marijuana, man. That ain't street weed.
Man, ain't is it just me or is that Kush and they done made it popular?
Nah, it's different levels. If you getting your marijuana from the government, then of course you got some GMO shit. But
Hmm.
the stuff in the streets, nah.
If I ever did smoke again, I won't. But if I ever did smoke weed again, it was straight up be Reggie, nothing else. No, I want that stuff that snuck in from the border. I'm not trying to deal with these chemicals from the government. You ain't about to take me out like that. Like people think I'm playing, but in about the next 10 years to 15 years, maybe not even that long, cancer is about to skyrocket from all this cell phone use, from that marijuana medical weed stuff. Watch out, we about to see some stuff about to skyrocket. All these modified foods. It's gonna have consequences to this stuff. The famine is here. The ocean is dead.
Yeah,
They gotta make up for that. So we getting a lot of fake food. We eating meat with human meat mixed in it. McDonald's is getting they DNA on from the human people up in there.
yeah, that's a fact. That's a
What
fact.
the 23 months old?
But yeah, we
Okay.
you know why they shut down Backpage too?
Why?
Because a lot of um a lot of politicians, they have sex with prostitutes. See, they really shut it down too because you know them transsexuals was running crazy. They was running rampant.
They was
You
on
know,
that too?
yeah, I don't know if y'all heard about the legendary DJ Mr. C. He got caught up with that transsexual a few years ago.
Do they not know these people are transsexual? Are they being fooled like the Maury show? Is it or ain't it? Are they
Nah,
being
they be knowing, sis. They rock with them trannies. And what it is that they be ashamed when they get caught because they live in a secret lifestyle. They paying these dudes. So when they get caught, it's like, oh shit. But a lot of these politicians was getting caught with gay prostitutes, getting caught with young prostitutes, you know, because there's a lot of young women on Backpage. You know, just because her age say 25, she could still be 17. You know, it was a lot of underage stuff going on there too. And like I said, a lot of the local police in these cities was dealing with that. That's why the federal government had to come in and stop it. And that should tell you right there, if the government had to come in and stop something like that, that shows you that the government was a part of it.
And or yeah, I agree with that. And also, too many white people were going to jail, so they don't like it when they own getting caught up like that. They'll put it into it. That's why they got everybody rolling around with that Narcan in the car to save the white folks when they about to die. They gotta save them. Cause I have a feeling there wasn't black girls on that thing. It couldn't have been, cause they would have had that all over TV, all over the news. They would have made sure the black women got the name of a lifetime of trash on top of trash. Cause we already sorry this and sorry that. So they would have been so happy to put that title on us as well. But they hid it. That white dude, the only reason why I know, cause that white dude was bringing it out up here, and they only get upset when they own is going down. They don't care about nobody else but theirs. Oh, we can't go on vacations like we want to. We need to do this. We need to hurt somebody, and they will go do it. If we move these people out the way of this killing, our lives will be better. That's their solution to everything. You got to go, but we ain't going nowhere. They not gonna go nowhere. They making sure everybody else goes somewhere. So it was white folks. They was on that back page. Probably was white dudes too.
They invented Backpage.
Really?
Exactly,
Y'all
bro.
let me do say I did not know that. I did not know that. Because black people, I don't know. I mean, I know black people smart. I know we smart. But I don't think black people sitting back trying to make up stuff like that. So there got to be white folks doing that, inventing stuff like that. Now, black people, you invented, they'll go make some money off of it. But to come up with it themselves, no. I ain't never heard of it. When's the last time a black person came out with a new drug? We'll take your shit and mix it together. But our brains ain't work. Our goal ain't to hurt people like that. But we will get our hustle on.
You know what Backpage was, sis? Backpage was the Craigslist for sex. You know how you could go on Craigslist
I know
and
I was shocked by that.
get you a joystick for $15.
Okay. I'm gonna Google that. I'm gonna find out
Oh shit.
what that is. I probably know.
Yeah,
I just don't know the name. So
I'm just making jokes because this is a serious topic, but I'm making
yeah.
jokes.
Oh
Motherfuckers on
my.
Backpage, you know, I give you some ass, you know, for a king size Snicker in a 2 liter of Fago Great.
Yeah, but that's true though. That's what's going on. Like, you know, that's what's going on, and it's crazy. But that's really what's going on, and the government had to step in because their creation got out of control, man. Them women start having sex with politicians and all that.
It's too much. They
Y'all ain't
don't.
hear about them. Y'all ain't hear about Chris Christie getting caught up with them prostitutes and all them other.
When?
This was a few years ago when he was trying to
Oh.
run for mayor. up in Chris Christie is from Connecticut, I believe. No, New Jersey.
New
He's from
Jersey.
New
He's supposed to
Jersey.
been losing all that weight. Ain't lost a man. He needs to quit.
Yeah,
Chris,
he don't need to lose no weight because he paying prostitutes. What I'm
no, I'm
losing
just
weight
saying.
for? What I'm paying?
He started all that a year before he started trying to run for president, and he was saying he was going on a diet. Wendy Williams was talking about it all the time because that's her mayor or whatever he is, governor, whatever he is over there. She's down with him, and she was like, "Our governor, Chris Christie, or whoever he is," and it was like they was like he's trying to lose weight, and they kept showing pictures at months and months apart, and I'm like that fat dude ain't losing no damn weight. He looked like a nasty person that's out there messing with them undercover nasties. He doing something. Something.
Yeah,
I
and
mean, to each his own, but you know.
it came out too, sis. It came out. You know, he was playing with them boys. You know, he was playing with them razor blades because that's what he liked. You know, and that basically ruined his reputation. But
Jazz and Justice. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
what she says, sis.
Jazz and Justice says, white people invented all that perverted shit, and also everything they do backfires on them. It's still Jazz and Justice. Everything they do backfires on them. And Jazz and Justice also said, "Peace DS1. I'm tempted to get on, but it's almost 1 a.m. here. Don't want to fall asleep on the panel." Oh, okay. We almost got one more. And then John Doe says some of these escorts are making 6 figures working 3 days out of the week dealing with those politicians and high officials.
There you
And
go.
Chuck said, "LOL."
There you go. And that's what I was, that's what I was touching on. That's a fact. And this is why they had to shut this shit down, because what happens is that what these prostitutes started doing is they started using their leverage. Like, for instance, remember the Clippers owner? What was his name?
Is that the racist dude or
Yeah,
I don't know. I
yeah,
don't
the
remember
racist dude. You know his name, boss? What was the owner of the Clippers name? He was dating that high price prostitute, and then she end up recording him talking all his racist rhetoric, and then she put it out there and extorted him for millions.
Oh, I wish I knew his name. Because he lost his team and everything because of that,
Yeah,
didn't he?
I remember that.
Yeah, Donald Sterling.
Yeah, you got it. That's what I'm talking about.
Donald Sterling. Yeah.
Yeah.
She was one of them females that John Doe was just talking about. He paid for her whole life. You know what I'm saying? I mean, she had to give it all back. But that shows that, that this sex trafficking is real. They be flying these women in from all types of states and countries, man. Flying in these Brazilian women.
Cause ain't no black girls. That's them. That's them. Them white girls are doing all that stuff. They don't. The black girls they probably I don't know. They're not picking the black girls. Please leave our women alone, please. Keep going after these nasty, trashy girls.
And see, they using our women, sis, but they using our women in other ways. See, a lot of them, those dudes that be paying these prostitutes, a lot of them, they use our women to do stuff that they like on them. I don't want to be too graphic. You know what I'm saying? But all they little fetishes and stuff like that, they use our women to perform it on them.
I don't see how, because white girls, they suck wee-wee. Black girls don't do that. We don't. You can't get a black girl to mess up her hair or put nothing in her mouth. Them white girls, they'll do it all day long, though. At least no black girls I know.
Well,
Oh, y'all done met some stuff. Okay.
Well, I
You
mean,
got, yeah, okay. I got you. I understand.
you know. So go ahead, bro. Go ahead, bro.
Right. What's this bullshit sis talking about?
I'm serious. I mean, maybe it's an Oklahoma thing, but I don't know.
Well, hold on, wait
Girls,
a minute. What's the Oklahoma thing?
girls, I've never, all the black girls I've met in my life, I've never met a black girl to say that she likes to do that. I've never met a girl yet.
The fuck y'all be
Wow.
what what the fuck y'all be down there doing? What y'all dedicate y'all like to frying Oklahoma potatoes or
No,
something? The fuck?
I mean, no, it's just that, God, I mean, I don't know. It's just not something, you know, Oklahoma's a Bible state, right? We not innocent, but Oklahoma girls, they not innocent by far. They not. But I'm just saying, I've never came across a girl that's admitted to me that she does that. I'm not saying she don't. She's not told me it.
What
Well,
the hell?
well,
Hey,
well.
hey, sis, in my
I
Pimp
see you,
C,
Chuck.
hey, sis, in my Pimp C voice, y'all keep that bullshit down there.
John Doe, LOL. I see y'all. I'm serious, you guys. Like, I've never met a girl tell me that. Maybe she just don't want to tell me. I don't know.
And
Because I'll look at her and be like, "What the heck is wrong with you?"
I hope, I hope none of those women is your friend, sis. But no offense, a lot of them type of women be the ones that be on Backpage.
You trying to back? Black girls don't be on back page.
What?
They might be in a strip club, but on back page. Come on, that's
What?
far.
Sis, listen, listen, listen. The girls that you see taking those cute makeup pictures and with the little dogs in their bags and all of that, you think they going to work in the morning and all that? They going to see a client, sis. I'm trying to tell you how real it is. The clientele is real for sex. A lot of women are taking care of their families off of this stuff, man. It's
Jazz
for
and
real.
Jazz and Justice said, "I see y'all been researching Backpage." LOL. Yeah, how y'all know? How y'all get
I
all
mean,
this info?
I know because a lot of girls from my neighborhood was doing it.
Really?
That's how I know.
And they
Girls,
saying it out loud?
nah, they
They
don't have
telling
to.
people?
They don't have to say it. They don't
You
have
can
to
just
say it
tell.
because it's dudes. Because the dudes that's saying that they not paying, that's right around us, done paid them.
See, how I know about Backpage is because you know, d- you know, when they used to pass out the Backpage flyers, it used to be Jazz and Justice Avatar.
Man, y'all roasting people
hey,
real. Y'all reached into the chat.
hey, bro,
Yeah.
on the flyer it say, "Come get some Jazz Justice and dick."
I am not in that Jazz and Justice. I didn't do nothing. I'm innocent. Now I'm an accessory. There was these I don't mean to change the subject on y'all, but I was looking at the news earlier today, and I don't watch the news. I don't even think it was the news. Where did I see this at? But it was in Oklahoma. I found out about Oklahoma online, and they were this white girl and these two white boys and a mixed boy. They went inside this man's house, and this is all happened in the last week, I guess. And they went inside his man's house, and he shot all the girl stayed in the car, and he shot all the boys. And so Oklahoma has that make, you know how Texas and Oklahoma got that make my day law, stand your ground. So he shot the two boys, and he got the third one. The mixed boy, he got out the house, but he ended up dying by the car. And the white girl was like, he told me to just go, so I went. I'm like, you a lie. That dude got a little bit of black in him. He did not tell you that. So I think she drove off on that boy. But now she's in jail for felony murder. They're trying to pin all the murders on her and none of the murders on the white man. And I'm sitting there like, okay, the make my day law is for you to protect yourself, right? So you can shoot somebody enough to scare people to get away and run and protect yourself like that. But he killed 3 people. At what point did you realize you were safe?
See, we gotta realize, sis, that they don't make laws for us. Them laws is not for us. Them laws are for them. And that's why it only works for them. And that's why they was able to put felony murder on her and try to place some type of blame on her, because they don't make laws for us. And that's, just to, touch back on the topic, the reason why the government had to come in and shut that down too, because they wasn't making no money off it. You can't tax sex.
Oh, wait a minute. Yes, you can. Because what about Detroit? Them dancers in Detroit, they got to buy a dance card. That's taxing something, ain't it?
Now, wait a minute, sis. See, bro. See, this that rhetoric we be talking about.
What?
Sis tried to, get us off the fact that, these old Oklahoma rap snack potato chip making women ain't doing anything.
I don't know. What I'm saying, he said something about taxing the prostitutes, because they was even trying to figure out how to tax the homeless. Do y'all remember that? Like about a few years ago, about maybe longer than that. They were trying to figure out how to tax the homeless, and they was gonna make them get a panhandler's card. So if you want to panhandle, you had to get like a license for that. And
what?
Yeah, they was trying to tax the homeless. So with a strip club, what they did was, because my sister is a dancer, and I danced back when I was 19, but I'm not no hoe, so don't get it twisted. But I was young back then. But in Detroit, you have to get a dancer's card, and you have to get a new card every year for your birthday. I don't know how much it is, but my sister danced in Detroit, and you had to get a dancer's card.
So y'all Oklahoma women, y'all stripping.
Y'all, I'm 34. But y'all I'm 34, but when I was 19, I tried it out. When I was 19, that was over a decade and a half. I mean, I had no baby or nothing back then. I have a 13-year-old daughter. I did something stupid when I was 19. That was all.
I'm just saying, sis, ain't nobody, ain't nobody,
I went to school.
Ripping you down.
I'm going down the medical route. I'm good now.
Okay, sis, it's all good.
Just had to make sure.
It's all good, Ronnie.
Mm-hmm. Oh no, that is not cute. That is no. Maybe more of a diamond, but not a Ronnie. Never that.
what they used to call you?
Brandy.
Brandy.
Brandy. Could I look like Brandy Norwood?
Oh, they told you that bullshit?
Yeah. No, my mother told me.
I'm picking with you. So mama told you that and you went out in the street with that bullshit? So I got playing what you said.
No, I can tell you exactly how it happened.
No, we ain't getting in. Well, we ain't getting in all that. We ain't getting in all that, man. I don't want to hear you used to be on the stage busting it.
None of that.
I don't want to hear about you. No. You used to strip for.
No, listen, for real. I was married. I got married when I was 17. I married my husband. I was a military wife. But when I left my husband, that's when I left my husband and I was down like that. A friend that I later on whooped her ass suggested something like that. It didn't last no longer than a month. I was out. I was like, nah, this ain't for me. It depressed me. So I moved around. So no.
I mean, since we can laugh or kick it back and laugh about it.
Yeah, you can laugh. We can laugh now because You know, we can laugh now, but it's like,
It's
but
okay, sis, that you used to bust it down for Kit Kat bars. It's okay.
you tried it. You tried it. No, you tried it.
And sis, just understand it's a difference between a stripper and a hoe.
Exactly. Thank you. That's
It's a
my point
difference.
I'm trying to make. Thank
Stripping,
you.
we talking
That
about
that was that was
Backpage.
that was not that was not
We
yeah.
talking about women that's getting bust down for their money.
See,
That's
Hey,
what we talking
that's
about.
when I was like, I never heard of this thing. Like Backpage, that I heard about that from the white dude on TV, the one always on the news, busting people out. And then we also got a newspaper down here called Just Busted. It costs $1, and it's in all of it. We do.
You see?
We
hey,
have a
bro, we gotta go down to Oklahoma and see sis, bro. We,
I'm
we,
dead serious. We have a paper called Just Busted, and everybody in there. If you go to jail that week, you in Just Busted on Monday.
hey, we got them. We got that down here. It's called up here in Ohio. It's called the Hard Times.
Really? So you see everybody to go to jail, right? Everybody to get arrested for
Yeah,
everything, and they even
but it
got
be
like a little.
stupid because they be having people in there for no signal. I mean, it be some crazy offense in there, but they be having people in there for no signal.
Ours got a page for the alcoholics. Oh, hi, True Royal. Ours got a page for the alcoholics. We got a page for like the drugs. People who get caught with drugs. I mean, I don't get the magazine all the time, but with some people I know, you'll catch it in their car because that's a guilty pleasure is looking at this dang magazine to see if any of their friends got locked up or any who they know. That's the game. It's spot the homie. Like try to find if you know anybody in this thing that's been arrested. And every once in a while, you'll come across some of your people. You will.
Yeah.
I got to we got to go down there, bro. You know, we
I've
got to go
been
check on sis.
I've been around. I used to live in North Carolina,
Oh,
Salisbury,
really?
North Carolina. Yeah. Yep.
Oh, word?
My sister's husband, my sister Tara, her husband, his family is from South Carolina, but a lot of them live in North Carolina. And
Mhm.
I used to go down, them country towns in South Carolina where it's just dirt road and
Yeah.
a trailer at the end. They love their trailers around them places. And don't they? There's some trailer loving people. And so
Yeah.
yeah, I got pregnant in North Carolina. That's why I got
Wow.
pregnant with my
That's
daughter. Yeah.
Salisbury. Salisbury is like an hour away from where I live.
Really? I used to
Yeah.
work in Statesville and I lived in Salisbury.
If I want to go, if I want to take the Amtrak, I gotta go to Salisbury. That's closer to me.
I
Charlotte
didn't even know they had an
is further
Amtrak.
away from me.
All them times I was on that plane and
Charlotte.
I could have been on the
Hey,
Amtrak.
peace to y'all. I'm gonna go to sleep, y'all.
All right, bro. Peace out. Yeah. So yeah, Salisbury is like an hour away from me.
That's why I used to stay there. I used to stay in Philly, Detroit, because my husband was from Philly. So I moved to Philly with my
Okay.
husband, and then my sister Angel, she moved to Detroit with her fiance. So I ended up kicking in Detroit. My brother was in the Navy, so I lived in Jacksonville, Florida, because my brother was in the Navy. So I used to I love to travel. So well, I used to love to travel until I had a baby, and I don't like traveling no more.
I was about to say, since all this traveling, you sure your last name ain't Chapo?
No, but I'm 34. I did a lot of my traveling in my early 20s. After I got out of my marriage and everything. Like I traveled a little bit then. It's kind of like a find yourself moment. You know,
I mean, it's all good. At least you got to go a lot of places that a lot of people never got to make it to. So,
I never been to New York. Never went, and I was in
I mean,
Philly. Never went to New York.
some people never made it out their city, let alone they state.
I done traveled all the way up and down the East Coast, West Coast. I like to travel.
Yeah,
Well, I
so
used to like to travel.
I know we having fun and all that on here, man. I see everybody tripping in the chat on us. So y'all got anything else y'all want to touch on this topic?
Um, Ladies, be safe out there. You know, men be safe out there. This is, I mean, I know we joke and we play, but no, in all seriousness, like this is life. This is real. You know.
I mean, you just gotta, like sis said, everybody just gotta be careful. That's the biggest thing now, being careful. We gotta run in packs now.
Hmm.
That's what it almost seems like. We gotta run in packs now. One thing that y'all was saying that kind of fucked with me about y'all say how they kidnapping people through calling people for jobs, coming in for interviews. You know, it's damn near crazy to say, but any brothers and sisters got any interviews, going to interviews, take somebody with you.
Hmm.
So they'll know what time it is. And another thing I want to holler at the people about, if some of y'all brothers and sisters know or not, um, we have a black NRA that y'all need to look into. Google it. But we have a black NRA, National Rifles Association.
Mm.
So
I think we should arm and protect ourselves. Those people that are not, felons or anything. I think it's important that we arm ourselves. And even if you are, there's still ways you can arm yourself. I just I think that we do need to come up with a system of protecting each other because a lot of people don't know the dangers that we're in.
John Doe.
I didn't, huh?
John Doe said, "What do you say to the women who want to put themselves in the position of a sex worker?" Shout out to
Shut the
everybody in the
shit
chat
over.
too, by the way.
What do you say to a woman that wants? What woman would want something like that though? I don't know women that would
Who
choose
want to
that.
put themselves in the position of a sex worker.
And that's what I was saying. Who would want that? I don't know.
I think kind of what he's saying is that what type of woman will do certain things, you know, to maybe lead to them getting kidnapped. Like, for instance, a lot of young women, they play the streets late nights, especially during the summertime and springtime when it's nice outside, when it's late. A lot of women like to run the streets, and you know, it's just her and her homegirl, and stuff like that. So I kind of think that's what he's trying to say, because if you doing that, if you running the streets 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, and you not with your boyfriend, or you not with anybody who could protect you, you putting yourself at risk to become part of this ring that's going on.
we got
So
to
I'm
chill
guessing
out.
that's what he was saying.
We got to chill out with these one night stands.
Mm,
The sisters got to chill out. You know, being blinded by a car or a watch or a funky ass Gucci belt with the shoes to match. You know, you know, got to stop falling for the tattoos and stuff like that because people, they know how to reel us black folks in. Just like how y'all said, they doing it through job applications, interviews, because they know black people is dying to get jobs. We got to stop that. Especially to the women. I'm talking to the women. So what if he look good? So what if he cute? So what if his gray sweatpants is bulging out?
Ew.
He might have been sent. He might have been sent in your rear view, in your vision for you to see him for a reason.
Can I say this for the women? We need to teach our daughters. We actually like. I think a lot of parents are slipping on their daughters, and see the daughters like they tell the father it's their job to keep the daughter off the pole or whatever crap like that. And I don't think so. I think it's the woman's job. I think if we teach our children the right skills and let them know about the things that are out there in the world that they can do. Because I mean, I found my way to the going down the medical field lane, and I'm happy there. I've always been a smart person. I love education. I mean, we all make mistakes when we're young. You know what I mean? But I'm just happy my mistakes didn't. The mistakes that the kids are making now, it seems like as the generations go on, it's getting bigger and bigger. Like now there's a back page, and now they for real selling their ass like that. Like they're just selling it. That's shocking to me. Did this girl know that there's different trades that she can go do that they don't have to do anything like that?
Man,
And I think that we need to let because
my
because
home
we
my dude, his daughter, speaking on that back page shit, I just told the story with DS on his platform last week. My home, dude from down here in my city, his daughter was all up in that back page shit. You know what I'm saying? She came up missing. They happened to do a raid. It was a rumor going around the city on who might have potentially had my man's daughter.
oh
So dude was hustling and shit. And I just don't understand it to this day. Like, dude was getting money out here in the streets. You know what I'm saying? Had every car he wanted and all. Like, nigga, did you have to have that much money to where you started, trying to, traffic, girls and young girls? And the dude that the rumor was going around with who had my man's daughter, the boys happened to raid his crib one day, raided his house. He had shit up in there, of course. Then they go to the backyard and the back where the pit is at, and there was her bones.
oh
See,
that's so scary. That's so scary.
a victim of sex and human trafficking, family. A victim of it.
I think we got a lot of victims out here. I think that a lot of these girls need to understand. Like if any girl is listening or ever come across this video, please know that there's things that there's trades out there. There's things that doesn't take long to go to school for. When I went to school to become a CNA, that took 3 weeks. Some places might take a couple of months, but it all depends on the hours, how many hours you go in the day and how many days a week is your class. But that's a job that starts off at $10 an hour or higher, depends on what state you in. I live in Oklahoma, our minimum wage is low. So that's why the number starts low like that. Because our cost of living is really, really, really low here. So, but if you're in New York, I'm pretty sure it'll be way more. It'll be way more. It'll be like $3 or $4 higher than minimum wage. That's what you'll start out as a CNA, and then you can. I know about the medical field because that's my lane. And then you can be a certified medical aid. That means you hand out prescriptions and stuff, and that takes about 6 months to become that. An LPN now only takes a year. A RN only takes 2. So you can actually make good money, buy homes. I mean, you can actually save and do really well in so many different areas. Now, if I find out about any other things, I'll say it out loud. But I like helping people, so I'm going down the medical field route. So, but yeah, there are things you can do, and also there's places that will do CNA classes for free, or it might cost up to $600 to take the class, but it's worth it to invest in your future.
Ladies, watch yourself. I'm gonna say it one more time before I hang up, so a brother can, wrap this up. You know, you y'all going out on these dates and stuff. You got to start telling people who you're dealing with, who you're talking to. Sometimes that keeping our business shit to ourselves, it just don't work sometimes because if something happened to us, don't nobody know who you was last with or anything. Sometimes, ladies, you gotta let people know who you talking to and who you dealing with. Like I said, calm down with all this, this ratchet behavior, because when you're doing that, because the majority of sisters that's coming up missing is because they do ratchet behavior like stripping or, selling themselves on the streets. Y'all women, y'all got to keep a better eye on each other. If y'all riding down the street and y'all see a young girl outside doing something, or some look suspicious, or a car, you see her up talking to a car, I don't give a damn if you find out that it's her father or it's a family member. You still supposed to, let it be known what's going on. That's all I got to say.
I agree, bro. And just to close, with some closing words, man. You know, us family, we got to realize we are the target. We're the target market. And I'm speaking business right now. Everything that's created in society is targeted towards us because we're the commodity. And they tell you that in the movie Get Out. When, the heavyset Caucasian dude, he came out and said that black is fashionable. Black is trendy. So basically what he was saying is to be black is marketable. We can market you in so many different ways. So we have to understand how they market certain things to our people in order to lure us, to kill us. So we definitely, like the brother said, we definitely have to stay grouped up now, especially for the women. Don't be walking the streets by yourself. If you in a certain state where you licensed to carry, make sure you get licensed up so you could protect yourself, ladies, because this thing is very, very serious. Don't let your kids, you know, be too far away from you alone because they could get snatched up in any form of fashion. You could turn your head and they could be gone. So we definitely have to become more protective again. We don't like to be overprotective because we're parents, but we have to be that, y'all. You know, you have to stop being our kids' friends and be their parents first. Be your kids' parents first before you their child, before you your child's friend. Because I think that's blurring the lines. That's where a lot of the respect is lost. And that's when a child feels like that their house is no longer a home. And then they run to the streets. And then they could become victims of this. Another solution, we have to watch who our children hang out with. Because your child could be good, but he could be hanging out, or she could be hanging out with somebody who not doing the right thing. And they could be influenced, you know? And with the way things are socialized to our children, far as ads and how things is marketed to our kids, it's easy to persuade your child now. Oh, come with me over here. I'll let you borrow my iPad. Oh, come with me over here. Look, I got money. Come with me. And next thing you know, your child in the back of a van tied up. So those are some solutions, family, that that we could do to protect our children so they don't become victims to this thing, because this is big business and it's worldwide. When I was in high school, just I'm gonna tell this one story, then I'm gonna close out. When I was in high school, it was this young girl. She got kidnapped and she was missing from my junior year in high school, which was 2002, up until I'm gonna say about 2008, 2009. They found this girl bones inside of a trash can in a train station. And what shocked me was How y'all found her bones, but y'all don't find her head? Like, where's the rest of her body? You know, and that just took me into this organ harvesting thing. So we definitely gotta we gotta be more protective, family. We definitely do. You got anything you want to say, sis? I'm getting ready to shut it down.
Stay safe. Learn from every mistake. Keep it moving. Love yourself, and that's all.
Thanks a lot, sis. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for showing your love and support. You know, it's very, very appreciated, sis.
Thank you for having me.
No problem.
All right, I'll check it. I'm truthfully honest, and I'm out.
This is DS1 Ross, y'all. Thanks for tuning in. You know, I appreciate all the support. Like the video, comment on the video, share it, subscribe. When you subscribe, make sure you hit the bell for all future notifications. This is DS1 Ross. You just tuned in to Sheep Stay Sleep Live. Until next time, family, I love y'all. Peace.